What's up, guys? I am going to check in on my cocoon only bin that I haven't opened in a couple of weeks now. The worms are starting to crawl on me. As you can see, they're getting pretty dang big here. These are the European nightcrawler cocoons that I started with. Tell you what. It is very wet in there and disgusting. I mean, it doesn't stink because, let's be honest, they haven't been fed that much ever in their life. But there's a lot of them. And they've got some good size on them. They're not mature yet. They're still immature worms, but they are definitely growing and getting big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a bunch of bedding to this and see if I can't get these guys dried out some, even though they seem to be doing just fine with all this moisture and dampness. I don't want it to be an issue because I'm gonna ramp this up because I got plans for these guys. I had an issue that I'm going to come up and tell you guys about this weekend, and I need every European nightcrawler that I can get my hands on to be productive. Man, this is all just castings. They have really done a number on what cardboard was in here. Okay guys, so I'm going to pause this real quick to get together some bedding materials for these guys and a feeding, and I will be right back to show you that process. Okay, so I got Cabela's ad, Bass Pro ad, whatever, they're the same thing now, and ripped it up. As you can see, these guys have all disappeared. I mean, there's a lot of worms in here that I started with just 150 European nightcrawler cocoons. For those of you guys that don't know, European nightcrawlers don't average but like 1 to 3 worms per cocoon. So while there's not a great number of them in here, I'd say I had a pretty good hatch rate. And I literally started this with cardboard and some peat moss and the cocoons and set it up and went out of town for 6 weeks. So I've been back. I think I fed it once. I fed it some chicken feed and put some bedding in there. I mean, it's been very, very hands-off. So I will probably keep maintaining it that way till I see signs of these guys developing a clitellum and becoming mature worms, which some of these I don't think it's going to be very long until that happens. But until then, I got this giant handful of a Bass Pro ad that I just ripped up. I'm throwing it in there for bedding because I want to dry this out some. It's not stinking. I don't want it to start stink. Plus the worms can use this paper as food as it starts to get that good microbial activity going through it. They can eat it up. I 100% just ripped this up using my hands a second ago, so it's pretty big chunks. I usually wouldn't use chunks that size because the more surface area you have, the faster everything can get processed. But at the end of the day, this hobby can be as simple as you make it, or it can be as complicated as you make it. And when I first started out, I had a problem of overcomplicating things. But as you can see, that went away pretty quickly. So the feeding for this bin is just an apple core. Looks like my kids actually ate most of this one. So I'm gonna peel this corner back, put that in there, pile up castings and bedding all around it. And what's that Ronco guy say, or whatever? Set it and forget it. So yeah, it'll probably be a couple of weeks before I check up on this guy again. Oh look, we got a climber. Come on, man. gotta get back in your hole. I just put some food in there for you, big guy. So, bam, tucked in. I started this on 27 April with 150 European nightcrawler cocoons. I mean, it's doing pretty dang good for as hands off as I've been on it. And the worms are growing. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out nightcrawlercomposting.com if you want to get some worm cocoons of your own to start your own bins.